The Avengers tower stands at 90 centimetres tall and retails for £430 in the UK. You get 4 side vehicles. You get Loki's chariot. You get another one that's just a speeder for Chitauri. You get the Leviathan. And parked up here you have the Quinjet in their mini scale form. But as you can see, it is very tall, and I've placed 4 at the top, shooting his bolt of thunder and lightning. You compose the minifigures in all different parts, including in these little cross bits, using the newish piece they introduced with the curve, trans-clear piece, which allows you to pose your minifigures in any action pose that you wish. We also have Hulk on the side of the building, who's just clipped onto the side here and is smashing one of the windows as he's coming down with a Chitauri. Down the bottom here, we have the normal modular system footpath, but we have some posts in between, as you can see. A couple benches, got a trash can, Double Bubble, which has been in quite a few sets, but it's a really nice little print. Just behind War Machine, we have the Battle of New York Memorial from the Hawkeye TV show. As you can see there, we've got War Machine and Iron Man on trans-clear elements, and you've got the classic black lamp. The Leviathan build is very delicate, so when building this, I would be careful with how you move it around. But it comes on these newish elements, which are in trans-clear with a dish piece at the bottom. Just 2 separate pieces. As you can see, there's a bunch of ball joints throughout and articulation, but I'm not going to pose it because it is very fragile. I will say there's quite a lot of weight on this ball joint, could have done with a strong connection there. Pose it like that and open and close the mouth where he's got a purple insides. So yeah, pretty cool build. One of the best Leviathan builds. I'll be comparing the old version. The biggest problem with this set is the quality of it. Now, as you can't really see too well on camera, but you can see clearly there, we've got mould marks dotted throughout all over the window elements, which is not good at all for a £430 set. And I think it's over $500 in America and other regions. It's very much more expensive than it is here. But as you can see, a lot of the elements are just scratched as well, like the window pieces. The biggest culprit of that is my glass door elements, which you can see there have scuffs going all across them, which I'm definitely going to order some new ones from Lego because that is not good quality. The trans-clear elements need to be separated into paper bags or something. Taking a look on the back side, you can see there's a little bird perched on there, which is a nice little detail. You can see a bit more of the ladder going up to the very top of the tower. And again, you've got all the same elements with the whole connections. So you've got one here coming out of a portal, which is a bit random, but I guess he's been popping up a lot lately. It's almost identical front to back, but the difference is this part which you remove, which comes out a bit longer. Down the bottom, you've got the broken up greeveling of the pathway like they have with the other 2 Marvel modulars, and the same yellow and black bin piece. Got Nick Fury, the new exhibit from Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Major there from the end. As always, you get some really nice little Easter eggs. So you've got the pin particles, which they use in Avengers Endgame, and leftover shawarma, which is another sticker element. It does lead into the main lobby. So speaking of the inside, let's take a closer look. Starting from the top, a little detail you can see there is the machine used to open the portal for the Chitauri to come down, which goes all the way down here. You can see some of the architecture. You've got some nice glass pane elements, which you can open from skylights. Got this nice brick built here, and then you've got the landing platform for the Quinjet itself, which is really cool. We'll take a closer look back there in a moment. And here's another really cool, one of my favorite parts of the set is when the Mark 7's being deployed to Tony Stark as he's getting his wrists scanned. A V shot of him looks very cool. The Wasp, who we'll also take a closer look at. Panel piece, which just pops out like so, and you can set it off to the side and let it flat. Closer look at the interior. We have a bunch of sticker references. I'm not going to go over every single one, but you've got the same elevator build from the Daily Bugle set, which I think is a better set than this. Got the Tesseract that's fallen out of the briefcase from Tony Stark. Got a little computer desk with a monitor back there, as you can see, which is what Vita Rush Smash Your First pin as a little sponsor there, which is a nice little Easter egg. You've got 2 chairs here, got a bunch of jumper plates, as you can see, throughout to pose minifigures and make a dynamic posing. The next floor up, we have America's Arse, as you can see there. So they have like little broken bits of glass, which is really cool, where the balcony has. been smashed, which is kind of hard to see, but you can see here the flatter elements. You got a bit of broken glass here and Captain America. As you can see inside there, you got the Iron Man helmet and a little hospital bed for Helen Cho to use. Off to the right, you got the deploy computer with another keyboard and the elevator in the back corner there. And just above that, so you got Jarvis is the blue rock element, and you got Ultron there. So this is them in their AI forms, which is really, this is an Iron Man Hall of Armory. So in there you got a Roxanne canister, which is the same one from the Civil War tank set. You got the arc reactor and a little nano figure there with a mug. No tools in that toolbox. You got yet another version of Dummy. In the back there, you can see the Pepper Potts Rescue Armor with 3000, a lovely 3000 reference. Got some more stickers up there. Got Loki. And so yeah, you get some great sticker details also in there. Also in there is a reference to Ultron. You got the jumper elements as well, so you can pose minifigures and you can place an Iron Man in the center of this cons. Floor up is the helicarrier for some reason, the prison cell they used to hold Loki in. So in the corner there is probably my favourite reference in this whole says Armin Zola from the Winter Soldier film. You've got a bucket, which you can kind of see there. And on this side, it's kind of hard to see, but there is stickers with an out of order, no Hulk allowed on the elevator. And we've got a little reference there to Iron Man 1. You can open the doors and place a minifigure inside, which is really cool to see. Next up, we have the landing pad for the Quinjet, which has these nice rail elements. Now, the Quinjet, I do think is a kind of nice inclusion, but we just had a nicer one that just came out in January earlier this year. Take a closer look at that in a moment. Back there is the Age of Ultron party. So you can see there's Thor's hammer, which everyone tries to lift. You've got some bottles on the back there with bourbon, which is a nice little build. Got some nice lounge sides. You've got a TV. Hulk smashes again. This side you've got another TV with more references. You can just pop this whole panel off. You can see the newspaper there, which is really cool, and get a better look at the details. Oh, and you've got a lamp in the corner there. Next floor, you just pull off the roof element again. You got where Loki's been smashed by the Hulk, with my favourite reference, which we'll take a closer look at in a moment. Got some ornaments there from like the Stark Spar area, which you can see there with the classic Iron Man 4 Hulk and Loki, which is really cool to see that. Love that sticker element. And this is what the back side of it all looks like, which you can see here. Loki scepter room, which is really cool, with some sticker elements and a satellite dish. Now what I do find is it's very hard to get your hands in there, especially if you're an adult like myself, where you can't really get into this room specifically because of the glass bridge, which I think should have been on a higher level, to be honest, like where they got the Hulk smash bit or something like that, just so it also makes it come down a lot quicker. But yeah, I don't like that. It's very hard to get access. Same with most of the floors, like you can't get in the back there and move all the little Easter eggs if you wanted to take a closer look at them. Down here, it's a little bit more spacious because you can see I could get my whole hand in there. Luckily, this roof comes off so you can get your hand in there. And up above is quite easy, but I think that's another massive thing that I don't like about this set, is the accessibility to it all. It's very, very... Now, the Quinjet itself is really small, very downsized. You can only fit one person in the cockpit, but you fold the wings up and down to park it and store it away. Tons of stickers all over it, which isn't great, but it does have wheels so you can push it along. Got the little stud shooters here and little mini guns underneath, and you've got, that's what the underside of it all looks like there with the fuster. You can see there's two more stickers piece, and you've got some storage for some extra ammunition. Like I say, we already have a nice, really large Quinjet, and the Leviathan I kind of wish was just its own separate set at a mega size, proper to scale with this Avengers town. Hopefully Lego will come out with one of those one day, but this is by so far the best we're going to get because it is UCS quality. It's relatively straightforward. It is quite tall, as you can see to me, in height. But you can just grab it by the base plate, put your hand back to support it, and lift. But it does have a lot of weight to it. Here's every minifigure included. A record-breaking 31 minifigures. I've thrown in there the micro figure of Ant-Man. We got a big figure of Hulk, of course. But yeah, it's really cool to see all these together. You get 4 Chitauri, quite a few versions of Iron Man / Tony Stark. But yeah, it's a pretty nice, bold selection, but I will be doing a separate video on thinking how they could have improved this selection. But it's not the greatest, but it could also be a lot better. And if you did get the promo on release day, you got 35 minifigures in total, technically speaking, if you got that with it, with Black Panther, the Taxi Driver, and 2 Outriders. Done a separate video on that, you guys can check that out. But yeah, it's really cool to see all these guys together. And of course, you can also include Dummy and Armin Zola if you really wanted to count those 2 guys as extra characters. First up, we have 2 reprints. We have Pepper Potts on the left with a different hairpiece used for her. On the right, we have Tony Stark. This version of Tony Stark has come in quite a few sets now, but the exclusive part about Pepper as well is, as you can see there, is the sticker element, which is a tablet, which has got a cheeseburger on it and a phone call, which is probably a reference to Iron Man 1 version of Tony Stark. And then the few critiques is the minifigure selection, and there's some elements of these minifigures that could have been done a lot better. For instance, I would have liked to have seen a new face print, but I have some ideas which we'll get into later of what they could have done instead for Tony Stark. Iron Man suits, we've got the battle damaged Mark 6, which is exclusive to the Avengers Tower for now, at the time of recording this video, which is a really cool minifigure. First ever battle damaged Iron Man we've ever had. This one has the trans-clear head because you're meant to put it in the repair station in the Avengers Tower. This one came in the Quinjet in January, so it's a way more expensive way of getting this figure, but if you don't have it from that set, it's a good way to get it. Standard Tony Stark face, the visors do lift up. You see their back torso bunions here, so you've got the scuffs on the back, which are really subtle. Another repeat and exclusive. So this War Machine came in the Hall of Armor set, which is currently still available. I believe may be retiring within the next year or so. But this is a brand new Mark 1 version of Ultron, which is the Iron Legion, but battle damage, so it's good to get a new version of that. But I would have liked to have seen a new Ultron Prime, which they tease throughout the set with some stickers and stuff, which is a bit of a shame. You could get a better look at his back, torso and head print. I'm a bit annoyed by the face print. I kind of wish they go back to the face print with the up heads display like they do for Iron Man. It would have been so much better. Next up is Thor and Loki. So this version of Thor uses the Murder Moody hairpiece, which I believe is new for this set, but it's just, again, the same figure. These are the same figures from the Quinjet, which makes that set very redundant because there's no exclusions for the pair of them. So you can recreate the scene from Avengers Endgame. You can see their back torso print-ins. Next up, 2 characters that are basically civilians, but we have never gotten in Lego form. So we've got Eric Selvig on the left with a laptop piece. So it's really cool to get another Stellan Skarsgård minifigure. This is a 3rd one of him, which is kind of crazy to me that he's come in 3 different sets, this actor that portrays him. We've got Helen Cho on the right, again, good figure to get. We never got her before, from Age of Ultron, and that's their back version. I guess we better take a look at the best minifigure in this set by far in terms of detailing. You've got Vision on the left and whole new redesign, which is really cool to see. Got Wanda on the right, which is the same one from the final battle set, which it comes with the waist cape piece. And they use a plastic element for Vision's cape, so that allows them to get all this extra printing. And you can see his back torso printing there. And you can see Wanda's back torso printing. But yeah, Vision with the trans-clear legs is a very clever idea, and even some of the cape is transparent towards the bottom. So I like that consistency there. Yeah, it's nice to get him in a brand new set and a new design. Next up are 2 generic shield agents, but I always love getting shield agents where you can close the visor. We've only had one other shield agent from a comics set, so it'll be good to get these in cheaper sets so we can mass build them, or maybe including them in some advent calendars in the coming years. But you've got the shield logos on the back. One can smell the cologne of 2 Tony Starks. So we've got Tony Stark in a shield outfit. So technically we get 4 or 3, I suppose, because we get 3 of the same face prints for Tony Stark, plus an extra armor. Got Alexander Pierce, played by the great Robert Redford, who's really cool to get as a minifigure. Just the same old head print again. Like I say, it'd just be nice to get some variety, considering he appears in this set 3 times. Next up, we have Captain America, Steve Rogers, and America's Arse, or should I say the 2012 Captain America. But yeah, that's what the back torso print looks like. But it is nice to get the cowl piece, but uses a different head print, which is kind of interesting with no chin strap. Don't know why they changed that up. It's just an alternate. Next up, we have a brand new version of Hawkeye from the first Avengers film in a nice modern update, which I just did a comparison video on every Hawkeye, so that video is now out of date within a couple of months. Anyway, you've got Black Widow with the same leg prints, which you'll also see on Falcon, but they're technically exclusive, this version of her. She does have terrific arm printing on both sides there with the shield logo. But again, these are the same. She's the same figure from the Quinjet. Back torso print in there. I would have liked to then reuse the face print from the CMF just because it looks so much like Jeremy Renner. but I do appreciate that they did keep the same hairpiece. I just want to take a quick look at the same figure that uses the same leg print. We have a modern version of Falcon from Age of Ultron, I believe this is meant to be, because the torso design is different, of course, from the Civil War suit. You've got these 8 stickers for the win, so on this side you can see 4 of them there, and on the back side you can see he's got even more stickers printing. Now we finally have a brand new Wasp minifigure who should have been included in the Endgame Final Battle set, but it's great to finally get her here, even though it's such a high price point. You've got the plastic element for the wings, which they used for the Geonosians in LEGO Star Wars, so it's good to see them reusing this technique. I think this works great for her. She also comes with her hairpiece. You can see her facial expression here, which doesn't really look too much like the actress. Her back torso. And finally, after 3 years, we finally have a brand new Hulk Big Fig. We've got quite a few minifigures as of late, as you can see a couple in the background there. So it's nice to finally get him in his true form as a big fig. So you've got the arms that go up and down, the hands that can twist. And now, for the first time, you can make him bold if you want. Now the clutch power on this hairpiece isn't very strong, I have to admit. Maybe it's just my copy. But like the new redesign of Thanos, you can turn his head as you please. And he has the 4 studs on the back. That's what he looks like there. We would like to see some toe printing like some of the older versions of. Thank you, Lego trolls, for allowing Lego to make big hairpiece molds. And also as well, you do get 1 and 4 Chitauri. 2 of these come with the brick built blasters and 2 without because they're riding the vehicles. But yeah, 1 is a bit random, but I guess because he's popped up in so many MCU projects lately, it's kind of funny to include him. But I would have liked to have seen a brand new version of the ancient one. And that's what they're back to also. Comes one of my final criticisms with this set is that I would have liked the Kevin Feige minifigure to be a secret surprise 31st minifigure, like they did with the Harry Potter Diagon Alley, which they only did once, where they included Hagrid and Harry with a little plaque and a printed display stand that had a quote on it from the films. Really clever idea. I would have liked to seen Lego do the same thing with Kevin Feige. I think that would have really helped, having a little stand with a quote from whatever you want to make that quote. You guys can let me know in the comments. Anyway, you get the printed hat cat piece, which you get a spare of if you've got the Taxi promo. Shawarma piece, which you get 2 of, which is a really nice new print. Hopefully Lego keep making that. But yeah, I thought I'd save until last because he is the president of Marvel Studios. Got some back torso printing. But yeah, shame it's not Stanley, but I completely understand that for some reason Lego just can't seem to get the rights to Stan. Overall though, if you've got the money, I would highly recommend it. It'll go nicely with your other modular buildings, and it really captures your eye and stands out in a room, especially where I've left it in my house and where I did the big review on my dining table. Just caught everyone's eye that walked through the house. It's just so grand of a set. We're doing a final comparison of all the Avengers towers, all 3 of them that they've done over the years. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be doing a ton of minifigure comparisons with all the old versions of these guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, that's going to do it. Let me know in the comment section, will you be picking this set up one day? And let me know. And I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.